BS Live rocks.
All right. Welcome to BS Live Rocks Music Education Series. Our guest today was born, raised, and lives in Los Angeles, California. He studied at Musicians Institute in Hollywood. He's recorded for the likes of Keith Urban, Chris Cornell, One Direction, Kiss, Britney Spears, Kelly Clarkson, and many other great artists. He spent quite a bit of time touring with Chris Daughtry and most recently with Courtney Love. We welcome the man who sleeps and breathes drums, Robin Diaz. Welcome.
Hello, everyone.
How's it going? Welcome to the show, man. Bobby and Shane Radio. We're excited to have you. And listen, you got a great website, Robin Diaz, Diaz.com. And I love the front page where it says Robin Who. So why don't you tell us who Robin is?
Well, it's funny as that sounds. It sounds like I'm trying to be, conceited, but no, it's true. It's like Robin Who, which for me, that's like, as being a session guy, people don't really know who you are. They may hear your drums on the radio. For instance, you didn't know that I recorded all the Theory of a Deadman records, did you?
No. Oh, wow. Holy mackerel.
Yep, I did the first 3 Theory records with Chad Kroeger and Howard Benson, and those were the successful records. They all went platinum, and I was very happy to be a part of that. Tyler's one of my dear friends. Love Tyler. So, yeah. But that means, here I am. Now, you get to know about Robin Diaz. That's the point is Robin Who, and it's like, here I am. So, a little bit, I wanted to put the website out so people can actually connect with me and kind of get to know who I am and what I've done. So,
yeah. I didn't take it as a conceited thing at all, actually. When I kind of was doing a little bit of research on you on the website, it was perfect. I mean, it lays it out like who you are. I mean, there's no question after you visit your site on who Robin Diaz is. So there you go.
Well, thank you. And it's Diaz, Robin Diaz.
Diaz.
I said Diaz. I don't know where he comes from in this show, but anyway, you went to Musicians Institute in Hollywood, which means that you were in the I guess music mecca of the world. Tell us what that meant as far as getting opportunities to do sessions or to play some killer live shows. What did that all kind of mean to you?
Oh, wow. Well, for me, as a kid, I used to see commercials on Headbangers Ball on MTV when MTV played videos, and it would be like this amazing school of musicians, drummers, guitarists, and then I knew I wanted to do that. I'm like, oh, there's a university or a school for drummers. I'm going, and I went there in the 90s, and it was the best experience for me. I got to study with Ray Luzier, which is a dear friend of mine, Fred Dinkins, Joe Porcaro, which is one of my biggest influences, which is, his father's Jeff Porcaro.
Right.
And Rob Humphrey, which was, in the Mother's Invention, played with Frank Zappa. So I was very spoiled when that era of those teachers were there, because it's not the same school anymore, and those teachers are not there. So I was like the last of that era, and I'm proud to say.
Do you remember your first big break? I mean, I'm sure when you got out of school, you played in a number of bands, but what did you, or what do you look at now as this was my first big break into being a real important component as a session player or as a live artist?
Going in and working with Paul and Gene and Bruce Fairburn back in 90, whenever Psycho Circus was put out, they brought me in to record demos for them at the studio called The Alley off of Lankershim in Burbank. And it was amazing. And that's when, because I'm a huge Kiss fan, loved Kiss, that's why I started playing drums, was because of Peter Criss. And when that opportunity arose, I just felt like I made it. This is everything I manifested the universe brought me to here. And it was, a life-changing experience for me. It gave me all the confidence in the world I needed to pursue my dream of being a successful musician in LA, in the business.
It's funny because you've done a lot of sessions, but when I see your videos on YouTube, and particularly playing with Daughtry, I mean, what a live performer you are. And I think Chris Daughtry nailed it. I got to read, he had a quote here, which I thought was awesome on your page. Robert Diaz eats, sleeps, and breathes drums. His passion on stage is infectious, and he always plays from the heart. and that's all a frontman could ever ask for. And that's exactly what I see. A guy on the live stage playing from the heart. What for you though? Do you prefer live playing or session playing?
Oh man, I love live playing. I mean, I love being on stage and feeding off the energy of the crowd and being the engine of the band. Like, that's one thing I take pride in is kicking the ass of the guys on stage and giving them the energy. That's what I enjoy doing. So I love doing the studio work, mind you, because I just love giving my input on songwriting and bringing the song to life. That's why, like, when people hire me, they know from a studio standpoint that, all right, here's the song, you're going to bring it to life. And that's what I do. I make the song and just bigger and better. And I'm actually very confident in saying that. And by any means, I'm not trying to be, conceited or pompous. Just I enjoy and I'm very proud of what I do. So yeah, I love both aspects, man. I can't particularly nail one. I love them both, but nail me to the cross of both of them and I'm satisfied. So yeah.
So how did you get the gig with Chris Daughtry?
I used to I've worked with a producer named Howard Benson for years. And number one was recording with Theory of a Dead Man, the second album. I'm actually looking at my plaques right now. I did I think it was Scars and Souvenir, because the first one was, the first one was just Theory of a Dead Man. We did that with Shaq Kroger up in the Greenhouse in Burnaby. And then the second one, was Gasoline with Howard Benson. And that was Gasoline 2005. And then the third one I did was Scars and Souvenir in 2009. But yeah, Howard Benson was just bringing me in, who is a Grammy-nominated producer, an award-winning producer, just says, hey, this band, Daughtry, and you'd be perfect for them. They're on their way to platinum status. You need to get in there now. And I did. And it was the best thing I can ever do in my life and my career. And I made 5 amazing best friends with those guys.
That's awesome. And that's where I guess my association with you is through Daughtry, because I'm a Daughtry fan, and you start YouTubing and seeing live footage, and then I went to see Daughtry and you were playing. Now you left in 2014, I believe, and then started working with
May,
with Courtney Love. So explain why that happened.
Okay, well, here's the honest to God's truth, and I'm saying it here and now. Well, we were in Europe with Daughtry in May, June, in March, and we were March, April, May. So April. We were I'm getting my months confused really quick. It's April's before May. Correct me.
Yes. April, May, June. Yes, there you go. We do it all here. We can help you with anything.
Good. I need taxes. Help with my taxes next. All right. So we're in Europe, and I've been recording and playing with Francis Bean Cobain's husband's band called the Eries. And I remember, recording with him at his house here in LA, and Francis was like, you're such a cool rock drummer, and you've got this whole Bonham, Dave Grohl vibe. My mom's looking for a drummer for May, and perfect timing was for me is when I got back from Europe with Daughtry, we had a month off. And we were in Paris, and I remember I got this text from Courtney saying, hey, dude, this is Courtney Love, Francis and Isaiah. And I'm like, what? And sure enough, she said, give me a call tomorrow. Called her. She says, dude, you're off in May, I see. I would love you to come down and do a tour. And, dude, for me, I grew up playing those songs. I'm a 90s, drummer. And for me to play those songs and be a part of that legacy through, Kurt Cobain and Michael Stipe and Corgan, I fit right in. Like, it was, the glove fit perfectly. And she loved it. The band loved it. I go do that run. And I couldn't, complications happened with a flight going back, because with Daughtry, we were supposed to have a show in Vancouver after May. And they didn't want me to fly in from Europe. So I couldn't already bail on Courtney, so they replaced me right away with another drummer. So the fact is, I didn't really quit. And there you go.
That's the truth.
And I got a lot of shit. Yeah, I got a lot of shit from fans thinking, why'd you quit? Why'd you quit? And not once did I go online and say what the truth was, because I don't do that, but I feel now it's been years have passed, and that's the truth. And they didn't want me to fly in from, Manchester, England to Vancouver, which there was two flights available for me to go, or I would not have done it. And that's what happened. So, and it was cool because after that, Courtney brought me on to do Australia, and it became a beautiful love affair. So, cool.
I watched some interviews with you. You mentioned Ringo Starr as an influence, and you mentioned John Bonham.
Heck yeah.
Yes. Let's talk about maybe today's influences. Who influences you now as a drummer? Who do you watch or look up to?
You're going to laugh, but once again, 90s kid. Jimmy Chamberlain is one of my all-time favorites. Jimmy Chamberlain, Phil from Radiohead, just the simplicity. Who else is amazing right now?
Well, I'm amazing, but you haven't seen me yet. So if you saw me play, you would say you're amazing.
Next time, you know what? You are my favorite number one drummer right now.
Thank you.
Just right now, you
appreciate it.
On the phone. But when we hang up, it'll be Bobby Rock in there.
Oh, no. That's good. We're speaking to...
Dude, I want to fly. I'm going to fly in. I'm actually going to fly in and do a show there. I mean, I want to actually come and be on your show.
You need to. We'll set your drums up in here. We'll just make a lot of noise and have a good time, a few beverages, Canadian way.
Yes.
That'd be phenomenal.
Molson Canadian, baby.
Absolutely.
Yes. Come on.
I want to ask you about, some of your session work. You played on a Keith Urban album, in the last couple of years, I think it was? Last year?
No, this new one right now, the new one.
It was the new one right now. And what was it like working with Keith? And I guess this is what I want to know. You are a rock drummer to me when I see you play, but I look at who you've recorded with. You really need to be flexible with the different genres of music that you play.
Absolutely. You got to have a different kind of, I just like playing drums. And for me growing up, I played to every kind of music. Like we had every record in the house from Chuck Mangione, Kenny Loggins to Johnny Cash to the Beatles to Zeppelin to Sabbath. So I played records nonstop, and not CDs, kids out there, vinyl records. I would just spin and play on Tonka toys and boxes until I got a real drum kit at 5. But no, it's the Keith Urban thing, how that went down. You guys have a Canadian Grammy, once again, Grammy-nominated producer named Brian House, who I've done all the Hinder albums with, Avril with him. He also just did the new Skillet, and he's doing now Mother. He just finished Mother, and he does all the Headley albums as well. Brian House, he's from Vancouver. He brought me in. He co-wrote some songs with Keith, and Keith loved him. And Keith was on tour. Actually, he was with his wife filming a movie. Plus, he was still doing American Idol. How that works, sometimes for drummers, session guys, the artist won't be there a lot. They'll get the tracks with the producer,
right? And
you go in there and you listen to it, you chart it out, and you take a few passes at different, variety of kick patterns or fills, and then you do a complete take, and then there you have it. And Keith got it, and Keith was like, "This is fucking phenomenal. This drummer's great. It's good feel. There's a nice backbeat," and Brian House was like, "Hey man, let's do a few more. You're in." So it was great. It was a really beautiful experience. Yeah, do I wish I got to meet him? Absolutely, but you know what? It's cool. It's fine. I'm sure I will at some point.
I want you to know that I spoke to Keith Urban. It had nothing to do with your drumming. He was all about your hair.
Oh, jeez.
Right.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm actually getting I'm going to get the streaks in my hand pretty soon.
Yeah.
Actually, I got to get more. I just cut mine out. I just cut my hair, guys. It's kind of chopped off now, except for the front. I did like this whole weird asymmetrical goodbye from the back.
Listen, I'm bald, so it doesn't matter.
And I can guarantee you have more hair than me because I'm losing my hair at the top. But there you go. We are talking to Robin Diaz because that is how he says his last name.
That's right.
And I'll never make that mistake again. But anyways, so
you're not the only one. Trust me.
Really? Eh? So working with a multitude of different artists, as you're a session musician, Does one project lead to another project lead to another, or do you find that you always have to kind of push and network and work the phones and how exactly does that work?
That is all the above, my friend. It's like you never have a day of just resting and going, oh man, I made it. I can just relax, my phone will ring. It does happen sometimes. There's times when I'm doing 3 projects at once. I'll jump from a studio and jump to another studio in LA and finish 3 records in 2 weeks, going back and forth. And there's also the moments where your phone doesn't ring and you just gotta make some phone calls. I mean, you got to do that. I mean, I'm friends with A&R people, managers, always singers of the band or the songwriters of the band, and you just got to keep, having that connection and just, making friends, going out, having beers with people. It's networking. You got to do
BS Live.